Hey guys, Sam Leamy here with Eric Francis, team rider, Broward Motorsports Yamaha factory rider. And we're here today to talk a little bit about our races in Sarasota. We're at round 3 of the P1 AquaX Championship, and we've already finished Moto 1, Moto 2, and today is Sunday. Moto 3 is coming up at about, what, 3 o'clock today?
3 o'clock today.
And you know what? I want to talk a little bit about first what you did. You made a decision early on yesterday morning to not ride the FX and ride the GP instead. I know you've always loved the GP, but it was a big risk to take because, you know, when water conditions could be calm in the morning, you don't know what's going to be later in the afternoon. And just so you know, once you make a decision on what watercraft you're going to ride, you have to stick with it throughout the whole weekend. You can't just change in between rounds. So what was the reason?
Well, I mean, no one's really been out on it all year, and you know, we've done a lot of testing in between rounds, and I knew the ski had a lot of potential, so I figured in a flat water race such as Sarasota, now's the time to roll the dice to see if that ski's got what it takes to be competitive on the track.
And what comparison can you say between the FX and the GP? What'd you feel?
I mean, obviously it's going to be a little more tiring on the body just because it's a smaller ski, but at the exact same time, it travels through the water better because it's lighter, it has less drag coefficient. So when you come out of a corner side by side with an FX, you have a lot more pull than them. You're going to have a couple boat lengths that they don't have.
So you say it puts a little bit of wear and tear on your body. What did you experience comparing it? You know, I mean, you obviously were out there. It was a struggle. It got rougher as the race went on. Yeah,
I mean, the ski itself was really, I mean, more predictable than I was expecting, because coming into this race, everyone was saying how unpredictable it was, how dangerous it was. No one liked it. And to be honest, I mean, as long as you're hammered down, I mean, the ski really does what it's meant to do. So I didn't really find the conditions too troublesome. It was just running the pace that the boat asks of you when you ride it.
And I think the thing is, with a lot of probably the racers, they're used to the old body style, GP, never really rode the new body style, so when you jump on it, it is different. It takes a little while to get used to. You've got 0 time on one, so you really took a big risk, said, you know what, I love the GPs, I'm going to do it. And it was risky. It was a risky decision to make.
Yeah, for sure, but I mean, sometimes you have to look at the big picture here, and in 2019, we won the World Championships in the Bahamas on a GP, and we're going to another World Championships at the end of this season, so even if we're not me personally, if I'm not having the best season that I normally have, I'm still planning for the future. And when we get down to the final race, it's good to have, you know, a gun instead of a knife when you come into the fight, because that GP really has the power to win in anything under 3 foot.
No doubt, no doubt. So let me ask you a little bit about conversations I overheard with you and David Cabrera. You guys were working on the tunes, getting it set up for the way you like it. He had a new tune that he put into the ski that he wanted you to try out to see how you liked it. I think Sophie also had it, and you guys got to race with it. Sophie came back and said, man, this thing is really, really peppy.
Oh yeah.
What were your feelings on that?
Yeah, so after the Daytona race and the Cocoa Beach race, we felt that, you know, the skis needed a little bit more oomph. Not on the start, but in the actual, like, mid-range, in the drive of the race, buoy to buoy. So I spoke with David. He came up with some ideas with some tricks with, you know, the tune, and we went out testing, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
And we noticed, you know, a vast improvement. You know, the ski was pulling harder. It wasn't laggy when you came off the throttle. When you landed in the water and you pulled the throttle, it was instant gas. And when you're driving to get out front, you need that pull. You can't have even a second of delay. So the changes that David made a huge difference to how hard the ski hit, even when it's coming back into the water.
And the neat thing is, I know Sophie said, this is a little too peppy for me. I want to tone it down a little bit because I ride better with it toned down. And, you know, everybody rides a different way. So some people, slower is faster type thing.
Oh, of course.
And for her, she's like, you know what, it's great, but it might be a little too much. It's just hurting my riding. And the cool thing is, David Cabrera is on site. Cabrera Motorsports can sit there and retune it, reflash it, do whatever that has to be done, make the changes on the spot in between motos, which makes a big difference. You're not stuck all weekend with whatever it is you have.
Yeah, that's the great thing with having a tuner on site. You know, like you said, if you didn't have your tuner on site, you'd be texting or emailing and hoping to get a file and, you know, whatever. But, you know, with him on site, if we have a problem, it's instant change in between the motos. You know, if we want more power, less power, this or that, he can just make the changes and we're ready in minutes. We don't have to wait for somebody else to rely on.
Great. Well, thank you for your time. I know you got Moto 3 coming up.
Thank you.
Kick some butt today. Good luck.
Appreciate it.